Wow. Wow. Just when we thought we could never have as good of a week as we've had in two of the weeks this year that were the best weeks we've ever had on this channel content-wise. 2 weeks, the best 2 weeks we've ever had in the 6 years of this YouTube show. We've had 2 of them this year. We just topped it. We now have 3. This was the best week I've ever seen. We had a couple misses. We had a big injury in Jalen Hurts. That definitely scathed some people, no doubt about it. Penix Jr. didn't do what we wanted him to do, but he looked fantastic, and the offense is humming. And Bijan, this man benefited greatly because of it. Bijan to the moon, 122 and a touch. Barkley, Achane, Gibbs, Jamo, man, the whole lot. JD5 absolutely is him. 5 touchdown passes in this game. Ran the ball for 81 yards. Holy crap. Holy crap. What a week. File on in. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Saturn, Mars, and Moon Men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8
Woo!
supernovas.
Woo! Okay, he did all right this year. Woo! Woo! Look at him. Look at him. Woo! Woo! Future's bright. Woo! Look at him. Woo! 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 Look at him. These guys ended up pretty damn good. Look at him go.
I'm looking at the 8 supernovas.
Look at him. You can't land them all.
The magnificent 8.
You can't land them all, but good Lord. What a season. What a season. Let's start off with just talking about the monsters on screen that blew up. We'll address the negatives. We don't run from bad calls and such on this channel. That's not how we roll. Barkley, 150 and 2. This was a Mars man extraordinaire. Told you he could be running back 1 to 5 here on this channel. We put it into existence. We set forth a path for Barkley by talking this man up all offseason. He ends up winning people their semifinal week almost single-handedly. But there are a lot of people that did that this week. Achane, 121 and a touchdown with 6 receptions for 70 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 109 and 1 TD, 4 receptions for 45 yards. Jamo Williams, your boy's start of the week, 5 receptions for 143 to touchdown, exactly to script. And Kyren Williams, 122 and a touchdown, as McVay said this morning, that the run game travels well in bad weather. Bijan, 94 and 2 tutties, 2 receptions and 9 yards. Again, Connor, 117 and a tutty, 4 receptions for 49 yards. A must start this week once Benson was ruled out. We had it on screen every night for 3 straight nights. JD5 looks like an absolute top 1 to 3 quarterback for the future. He's maturing so damn well. 258 passing, 5 touchdowns, 81 rushing yards. Yeah, he had some turnovers, but the man's learning on the job, and he absolutely goes bazooka, crazy, berserk, just absolutely explodes and single-handedly, in some cases, win people their weeks this week. Just all the Mars men, the Saturn men, just exploding. Now, there was some negatives. Puka and Kupp both didn't do very well. Nakua did okay, but Kupp wasn't anywhere to be found. Stafford seems to hate him now. Hurts had a concussion, which crushed anybody that had Jalen Hurts. And yes, my bad call on Penix from a fantasy perspective, I take ownership of that. But the other players on your teams should have accounted for any sort of misstep, and you probably exploded. You probably, in some cases, skated by, but nobody said to start Penix Jr. over top 5 guys. We made that abundantly clear. It was over Tua. It was over Kyler. It was over Aaron Rodgers. It was over players like that had 1 touchdown. They did outscore Penix, but not by a country mile. Anybody that sat JD5 or sat, any player like that, that's on you. You took that gamble. but this was a player that I absolutely love. Penix Jr. proved everything that we needed him to prove in terms of getting the offense going and navigating down the field. There was a touchdown potential drop by Kyle Pitts, or actually a tip up that made the interception. That was totally on Kyle Pitts. London dropped a touchdown. London dropped another big play. We had drops all over the place. Penix Jr. did his job, and the offense is electric, and Bijan Robinson's going to the mother freaking moon. And the beautiful part about having Penix Jr. in there is, they're trying to lean on the run to make sure his job is, the transfer of powers is very smooth. And so they lean on Bijan, and Bijan absolutely exploded with the 2 touchdowns. What a day. What an absolute day. And let's do something special here on the channel. Okay, we've got Saturn men, right? Saturn men. We've got Mars men. We've got Mars men. We've got Saturn.
To Saturn.
We've got Mars.
To Mars.
And we have
To the moon.
the moon. I give you the number 1 first dropped board spaceman cadet launching for the 2025 season. I give you the Jupiter man. Number 1. Our first bold prediction for the 2025 season drops right here and right now. Why Jupiter? Smitty, Saturn's further than Jupiter. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the universe. The biggest planet in the solar system. Jupiter is the most gravitational bully planet in the universe, or in the solar system, aside from the sun. Okay, so the sun has the most gravitational pull. Jupiter is enormous. It's the biggest planet in the solar system. You can fit every single planet inside Jupiter. That's why Jupiter is the top of the top, the big dog group. I give you Jupiter, number 1 ranked player. Our first announced bold prediction for 2025. Here he is, and he is beautiful.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
Limiting the Jupiter men to 4 spots. To 4 spots. We'll limit the Saturn men.
The Saturn men.
1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for Saturn.
To 5 spots. We're going to limit the
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Mars men to 5 spots. And we'll limit the Moon men
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
The moon man.
to 5 spots.
Dropping loads in outer space.
That means we got 5, 10, 15, 19 players. 19 players, that's it. We're scaling it down as we add more planets to make sure we're not throwing the entire league on these boards. And again, ladies and gentlemen, Smitty, did you take your lap yet on James Cook? Did you take your lap on James Cook? Because, Kevin, I told you to start James Cook. I told you, Kevin. Didn't you hear me all day long telling you to start James Cook? How dare you, Kevin? Kevin, go get me a coffee, okay? Go get me a coffee, Kevin. And Kevin, let's see here. Who was that? Kevin what? What was his name? Kevin Humbert. Go ahead, Kevin, and call in real quick if you like. What in the hell are you talking about? Go get me my coffee and take your big fat lap.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hating ass coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
Oh, and Tyler, you also said to start Penix. Tyler, let me ask you a question. Out of all the things that you see on here, do you see accountability on the board? Do you see a Penix Jr. Thumbs down, but a salute because he got the offense humming? What else do you see around the board, Tyler? Tyler's hating. Tyler, you're going to go in timeout this time. Unfortunately for you, we're going to put you, because you are only negative, all you do is drop negativity in here. We had an explosion, and you come in here, first thing out of your mouth is let's talk about something horrible, Smitty. So we're gonna put you in a 10-minute timeout this time because you can't mind your P's and Q's. You can't come in here and be a positive force in this environment. And where's Kevin? Kevin, are you calling in yet? I don't see you calling in, Kevin. Kevin, who says I told you to bench James Cook. I told you, Kevin, about James Cook.
Let him cook.
Unbelievable, some of these people. Let's get into the other pieces of news we got to get over. Wow. Okay, let's go over this game real quick. Miami Dolphins, Achane 121, 7 yards a pop, 1 TD, 6 for 70, was an absolute monster. Geno 6 for 62, Kittle 7 for 97. Debo, we knew Debo would be used a lot in this game. Why? Because of what I said all week long about Shanahan wanting to trade him. Shanahan wants to trade him. Shanahan's all about that stuff. He'll take you off the field if you're going to hit an incentive. He'll put you in. He'll put you in the game if he needs to trade you. And we knew they need to showcase him a little bit. Now, whether he'd deliver and actually convert, that was the risky part of playing Debo. But we knew that he was probably going to get a lot of work. He had the most rushing yards on the team with 25. He had 6 for 69 and a touchdown. Jennings had 4 for 51. It was a risky play for sure, but he certainly delivered. Tua Tagovailoa, before everybody cries like Tyler over and over about my Penix Jr. miss, again, the players we were conversating about were Tua, 215-1. You know, it's not like it was an absolute lambasting between Tua and Penix played great. It wasn't Penix's fault, but it is what it is. I take ownership of having that be a risky play for those that were in dire straits. Nobody should have been benching a big-name player like JD5. We'd have people come in and go, JD5 or Penix Jr.? You can't start Penix Jr. over JD5. You can't start Penix Jr. over Hurts. Even though Hurts got concussed, you didn't know that was going to happen. You can't sit studs. But any Penix Jr. call we had was in a questionable scenario like Aaron Rodgers, Tua Tagovailoa. They both got 1 touchdown. Penix Jr. got 0. Should have had 1 or 2 touchdowns. I'm excited about Penix Jr. in week 17. There probably will be no more exciting game for me to watch than the Commander game, the watching Bijan, Penix Jr. in this Falcons team. That's what I'm so excited for in week number 17. This right here, Buffalo Bills, I think they were still marching this stat line. Let me see. I might want to go grab his screen, grab a new stat line, because I don't know that that's entirely up to date. Let me pull it up right here. We got a final score of Buffalo 24, New England was 21. That game is over. Josh Allen, let me screenshot this final box score for the box score bobbies out there that need to see this, that didn't watch any of the games, and they just need us to summarize it, which is fine. We're here for it. That's why we're here. Here's the box score. Drake May did good. 2 touchdowns, 1 INT, 261. It was a nice little day for him. 6 for 30 on the ground. Stevenson, 60 yards and a touch on the ground. He was pretty productive. Keyshawn Boutte, 95 yards and a tutty. And then Hunter Henry, 39 and a touch. James Cook, absolute one of the best starts of the week. Talked about James Cook in almost every question we got. That's why Kevin's ridiculous comment was so funny. Is J-Mo and James Cook constantly on this channel the last 2-3 weeks. And Jaden Reed too. If Jaden Reed goes nuts in his contest here coming up, we're going to have some fun with that one too. Okay, but James Cook is a player that he's going to be hit and miss sometimes. 100 yards and a touch, 26 and a touch receiving. Absolute monster. Josh Allen, 30 yards rushing, only 1 touchdown passing, 1 INT, kind of a down game for him. But this was an absolute James Cook show, and he continues to be a must start going forward. So congrats to everybody who listened to this channel and not Kevin, and they started James Cook. Joe Burrow, absolute monster, 252, 3 touchdowns. He continues to dominate the NFL. He continues to dominate the NFL. While people were really upset and crying about the fact that Chase Brown didn't have, 180 yards and a touchdown, he still did well with his 91 yards. And on top of that, Jamar Chase, the counterpart, the extension of Joe Burrow's hand, is this man right here. 97 yards and a touchdown. Looked a little bleak for him at the beginning of the game, and through maybe 3/4 of the game, they step up. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they could play football in a dark room. They know each other like no other duo in the league, and that's why they're the pancake stack. Drop a pancake if you dare.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Where's my coffee, Kevin? Where's my coffee? Tyler, you probably got about another 6 minutes in timeout because you can't be positive in this community at all. Next time, I'm going to put you in timeout for an hour. Okay? Bring some positivity to the chat. Literally, we had the best week we've ever had. And Tyler comes in, and all he can do is crap on the Penix Jr. call. That's all Tyler can do. He doesn't have a single positive bone in his body. You know who does have a positive bone in their body? HM.
Let him cook.
A-Chan is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
A-Chan.
You know who else is him?
The man.
The man that travels like weather. He travels well. His name's Kyren.
He's Kyren, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
You know who else is a monster who doesn't have a negative bone in his body? That would be this man, the king of the running backs, the king of the Jupiter men.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
So tempted to put A-Chan on this board right now. I'm so tempted. You know, it probably will be A-Chan, Bijan, and JD5. I don't know. I just like, how could it not? You know what I mean? But we'll be attacking that as we go. Don't worry. The Jupiter men's just getting started. I don't want to take all the spots up right now. You know, before B says, what's B? Smitty, you told me Penix would go off. You cost me, bro. You cost yourself, B. You cost yourself. You know why you cost yourself? Because you didn't listen to anything else that I said. So while you want to come in here and blame someone else as a grown man about this, B, you're the one that lost your league. Look at all the other players that your boy talked about this week and all year long, and you're going to come in and complain about one player, B. That's on you.
Got him.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hating ass coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
It was brought to my attention.
There are 2 5s? JD5? AR5? There can't be.
Oh, no.
They're gonna cross streams.
Oops. Well, damn. He's a fragile Freddy.
He's a 5. JD5 is the only 5. JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to Saturn
And beyond.
To Saturn
and beyond.
Supernova.
By the way, $100 haulers, you can put your name on any video. Might extend it to 3 per video. We have it now set at 2, but that one, by the way, only has 1 person on it. Just letting you know, if you want to claim one of these videos and have your name put on it, that's all you got to do is drop that $100 hauler. All right, let's get to the remaining part of this news show here. 97 and a touch for Jamar Chase. Again, 3 tutties and 252 for Joe Burrow. Anthony Richardson had a nice little day, 131 and a touchdown. Then he ran for another score and had 70 yards on the ground. So that was pretty good if you started him. T. Higgins was another start of the week for me, and then he kind of, I think he got banged up or whatnot. Does anybody have an update on T. Higgins and him getting banged up? If anybody's got that, I've been scrambling getting all this stuff on the screen here, so I want to make sure we have an update on that. But someone let me know what they see on Higgins right now. 8 of 11 for 58 yards and a touchdown. It was nice to get that production from him. JT, how many JT questions did we have? Where someone asked if they should sit JT. And what did we say over and over and over? All last night, this morning, and on Friday night. Revenge game. Revenge game coming for JT. He dropped the ball. It's never going to happen again. Never going to happen again. And he was going to have a revenge game. This is a good matchup. He was going to get fed. And he absolutely carried people into the semifinals. If you own JT and you lost, your mother's ashamed of you. No meatloaf for you tonight. 29 totes, 218, and 3 touchdowns. Single-handedly brought you to the promised land if you own JT. Single-handedly if you own JT. Okay, let's move on to the rest of the news. It's Terry McLaurin. Sit Terry McLaurin. Tyler's back. Tyler, your 10-minute timeout's over. Let's see how positive you can stay, because you're going in an hour timeout. The next minute you pop off, and you can't be a positive force in this chat. You want your flowers? You're not getting nothing. Especially when you said, how can you start Terry McLaurin? And you even went into the comments of my last video when he hadn't done anything yet, and you said, Terry McLaurin, 1 target or no targets or whatever you said. He immediately scored a touchdown right after you posted that ridiculous comment. So McLaurin to the moon. Was it his most magnificent game? No. But are we going to take 5 for 59 and a touchdown every single time? That was an excellent game for Terry McLaurin. So flowers? You don't get no flowers on that one, Tyler. AJB caught 8 of 15 for 97 yards and a touchdown. Never sit your studs. Malik Neighbors, nice little day, 7 for 68, but it wasn't amazing. But it's what you expect out of that offense with that quarterback play. Chuba Hubbard, 25 totes for 152 and 2 touchdowns. Who's going to doubt this guy? Every question we got on Chuba was pretty much go Chuba, no question about it. Why would you sit him? He's carrying you. There's no competition. This was the easiest play this week if you had Chuba Hubbard in your lineup. So absolute smash. Kenneth Walker was doubtful to return to the game, got injured again. Zach Charbonnet season in week number 17.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk.
Warning, what you're about to see might be a little bit scary. You might want to turn away if you're squeamish, but this footage has been sent to us from a local Phoenix resident. Local authorities are trying to figure out what the sign means. It reads Sharb Season. Unclear as to what that is trying to reference or if that's some sort of warning. And it's still undetermined where these flying objects are deriving from.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk.
So Zach Charbonnet might be dialed up again. Kenneth Walker can't stay healthy. I can't guarantee he's out for next week, but it's probably not going to look good. Justin Jefferson, bro. How do we go literally? How many minutes are we into this show? We're 24 minutes and 15 seconds into the show, and I've yet to reference this man's outing, Justin Jefferson. That's how big of a day we had. That's how big of a day the show had. Everybody but Tyler and Kevin. Everybody but Tyler and Kevin exploded today. Had an amazing day, and it's so good. We're relishing in all the glory that we come in here and we see, by the way, JJ had 10 receptions for 144 and 2 touchdowns. It's like I'm trying to keep up with all of our Marsmen, Moonmen, and Saturnmen that have been exploding. 150 and 2 touchdowns for our Marsman, Saquon Barkley, who a lot of people laughed at your boy Smitty when I did a video that said he could be the #1 running back this year. Oh, he can. He's injury prone. The Eagles' tush push is going to take away from Barkley. How could he be a top 1 running back, Smitty? Well, there you go. Now you know. Now you know. Jerome Ford, this absolute moon man extraordinaire, coming in strong in the beginning of the year, helping so many people. This moon man extraordinaire went missing for a big part of the middle of the season. I admit, I didn't think he would vanish, but he's back. He helped you in the beginning of the year. Now he's closing it out strong. 92 yards and a touchdown. 5 receptions for 39 yards. Really solid play going forward. Breece Hall, he's skating by like we thought there was a risk of him, having this kind of outing walking into this game. The Jets are just so hard to trust. 52 yards and then 5 receptions for 38 yards. Could be worse. That's a decent day. That's 8 points PPR. That's 5 points. I mean, you get over 10. It's salvageable. But, of course, it's really hard to sit him next week because he's Breece Hall. But depends on your dilemma. We've got all that news we covered. I think there's another game or two I wanted to screenshot and put on screen. We had the Miami Dolphin game screenshotted. The Raider-Jacksonville game. Did I put that one up? The Raider-Jacksonville game. I think I have that game as well to go over. Oh, by the way, BT, we didn't get to it yet because he only had 1 touchdown and 131 yards. There are other people that have a reservation for 2 touchdowns and 100-plus yards, so we haven't got to it yet. But BT is him, and what an amazing play he was this week. 9 for 131 and a touchdown. That's a top 10 wide receiver in 2025. Rushing attack, Tank Bigsby stepped up with 50 yards and a tutty. And that helped you a little bit if you had him. Mac Jones, 1 touchdown, 247. Aiden O'Connell didn't throw a touchdown pass, but at least he got Brock Bowers back doing Brock Bowers things. 11 for 99. It was a good day. Abdullah, Madison, good luck trying to predict that next week. I want nothing to do with it. That's pretty much everything I wanted to go over before the Sunday night game starts. Let's get to the Super Chats, then we'll open the phone lines. Appreciate every single one of you that exploded and had a day. Let's see what Ray G's doing. I think we could start JD5 over anyone now, including Josh Allen. I think they're neck and neck. I think they're absolutely both must-start players. Nobody should have both of them anyway, or you didn't do your job making trades. Going to the ship, BTJ, Cook, Darnold, Falcons D. Rise, what do we say about James Cook, pal? What do we say?
Let him cook.
Congrats, my boy. What do we say about James Cook? Attaboy, broski. Man, J-Mo too. J-Mo was such an amazing play. Smitty, I'm in the final back-to-back years for $500. JJ, Saquon, Achane, mother freaking moon. Falcons D flew. Still have Big Mike in play. Megas, congrats. You've been following, the Moonmen, Marsmen trajectory for quite some time. You are going to graduate into some amazing astronaut by the time you're done with school, pal. Up 142.88 to 125.88 with Green Bay D and Flex McMillan or Dobbs. We're going to go McMillan. He has Jacobs. So let's go McMillan. He's got 3 TDs in the last 2 games. That's good enough for me, my bro. That's really good enough for me. First off, the Chan Man Can. Are you talking about Achane? Okay. Second, pick one. McMillan tonight or Kendre tomorrow night. I'm going to go McMillan, but they're very, very close. Kendre's probably safer for volume, but I don't like his team, his offense, the game script. Give me McMillan. I'm up 11 points. Your opponent has Evans. That could kind of like be a nice little fun start for you anyway. It's like McMillan versus Evans, and imagine if that goes your way. Kendre, I just don't trust. Team went absolutely nuts today, as it should, Case. As it should have went nuts. You know, some people come in here and say, oh, you're tooting your own horn, aren't you? We're tooting our horn. This is a collective here. I'm not tooting nothing on my own. This is a community. These are our calls. Our calls landed. We had probably the most amazing day fantasy-wise that we've ever had on this channel, and we've already had 2 of the most amazing days ever in this season. So 3 of them all in one season. Look at the players on the board. Those are our players, not my players. They're our players. JD5, BTJ, Tank Dell, prayers up to the deli. Bijan, Achane, Bowers. Look at your team, bro. onto the championship, yeah, they're probably going to call you up and say, hey, Case, what do you think about we just split the money now? And you say,
Take a big lap. We don't need your hating ass coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
you know, and a lot of people say, Smitty, I don't understand how you guys, it's our prediction, baby. How you guys predicted Jahmyr Gibbs to be as good as he is. The guy that is now the sole astronaut heading to Jupiter as we recruit 4 more astronauts. How did you know that this man was, actually we have 4 spots, right? We might make it 5, but it's 4 right now. How did you know that Jahmyr Gibbs was going to be as good as he was? The truth is I didn't know until I looked at the data and the science, and it was right in front of me. Like this wasn't really that difficult. You just pull up this data right here that I'm about to show you, this scientific evidence, and you knew that Jahmyr Gibbs was going to do what he was going to do. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs's workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megavolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. And then a couple of weeks ago I said Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be inside my top 3. He might even be my number 1 overall pick in 2025. And a lot of people said, hey, Smitty, what are you talking about? You can't put Monty's there. You can't draft Jahmyr Gibbs. He's in a committee. Watch me.
To Mars.
To Saturn. To the moon.
Take a
Get lammed.
Watch me. Not take Jahmyr Gibbs in the top 3 because of Monty. Watch me.
Wrong. Get lammed. Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Unbelievable. Okay, where were we at? We were over on this screen, weren't we? We're over on this screen, but let's venture back over to this board. It looks real attractive. Look at all those boys popping off there. As the president of the JD5, hope nobody benched him. Thank you, Rockout. Appreciate you. I'm up 157 to 150. He's got Evans. I've got Jaden Reed. You know what? I'd rather be him. Evans is a monster, bro. A monster, but you have a shot, and I love Jaden Reed this week, so that's the kind of thing that could go crazy for you. You just have fun with it. This is why you play. I have Bucky. He has Dowdle. I'm down 6 thoughts. Dowdle's pretty safe, but if I had to pick a side,
Get buckied. Buckied.
Bucky.
I don't think there's any guitar in here.
Oh, Bucky.
If I had to choose a side, I think I'm taking a Bucky bath. I don't know about you. I don't even take baths, but I'll take a Bucky bath, baby. Yeah, so Adam, we're going to lean toward your side of the fence, but this is definitely going to be a potential close call. No doubt about it, because Dowdle is in a very safe space right now in terms of workload. Made the championship 5 out of 7 leagues because of Smitty and company. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. JSN to the moon. Absolutely, JSN to the moon. That's a game I didn't put up yet, right? Seattle. Okay, let me go find that game. If I could find the Seattle game and put it up, I think it's right here. I don't know if I screenshotted that. Yeah, I might have. Yeah, JJ, I did screenshot that. JSN had 8 for 95 and a touch. DK had 57 and a touchdown. Kenneth Walker had 31. Charbonnet had 1 carry for -1 yard. So he had 2 catches for 14. When I say we're ultra excited about Charbonnet in week 17, we got to play it by ear to make sure, we feel pretty good about his situation. Because, right now, he's no lock because of the fact they gave him 1 carry. Did Mayfield or Evans miss the plane? Did Mayfield or Evans miss the play? Oh, just joking, Hickey, because you want to win your week and you're going up against him. I got you. Little humor from my boy. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. There's Superfish, our Jonu Smith predictor. Who do you like better, Green Bay's Watson or Reed? I'm gonna go Reed. I really like Reed. He's higher risk. Know that, but I love the kid. Up 143 to 117. He has Baker and I have Aubrey. Thoughts? I'd probably rather be, depends on your scoring, but I'd probably rather be being up and having Aubrey. Yeah, Brian. I mean, what's the projection say? I imagine it's got you winning by a 65-70% chance. AZ with Connor, Spirit with AZ with Connor. Appreciate you, Redirected. Thank you for dropping that. Redirected. Connor to the moon. He got injured. Let's see. He's 29. He always gets hurt. He just got hurt at the end of the game. We'll see how he is. HN may have saved my season. TM42. He's the monster, bro. HN is an absolute single-handed game-winning, fantasy-winning monster. Left Ford in their garbage, but sent my competition in an Uber back home. I told them, listen to Smitty. Thanks for your help. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate you dropping the super chat, my guy. Jaime, appreciate you. Chase Brown was a stud today. Should have had 2 TDs. Correct. Yeah. But I mean, the bottom line is he didn't. And so we're just reporting on that. But yeah, Chase Brown, like Penix Jr. should have had 2 touchdowns, but he didn't. And he was absolutely phenomenal. If you're a box score Bobby and you don't know how good Penix Jr. did, then, I can't really help you. But I do know he didn't deliver upon the prediction that I had, and I've got accountability on the board right here. I didn't hide it. I didn't not put him on here. I made sure to put him and Cooper Kupp on here because those are probably my biggest high-profile bust calls of the week. But, I mean, I think I'm allowed to have a miss here and there, especially when we landed everything from J-Mo to James Conner we had such a good week. Such a good week. They didn't let him run at the goal line, but one resulted in Burrow losing a fumble. Attaboy, sticking to your guns with Chase Brown all year. Abanto coming in strong, faced Allen, Gibbs, Barkley, Aaron Jones, and won. Had JD5, Kyren, Bijan, Amon-Ra in 3-4 championships as an avid watcher and lifetime member of the website. And don't forget, Abanto, I don't know if you know this, but I redesigned the entire fantasyfootballshow.com website. So get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Don't forget the thefantasyfootballshow.com. It's now redraft and dynasty. Redraft is in blue, dynasty's in green. I've divided it up, and there's colored boxes around the rankings, so they look similar to this, right? Green box would mean that it's dynasty rankings. Blue would be redraft. Even on player pages coming, get ready because it's going to be an absolute marvelous season on the fantasyfootballshow.com. I'm bringing back that website in a way that, when I say bring it back, I'm admitting, and I like being accountable. I dropped the ball on creating too much content. My catchphrase on that channel on that website for 23 years plus that I've had it, because I've been doing content professionally for 20, I don't even know, it might be 24, 25 years now. I stopped counting. Over 20 years I've had the website up, created the trade calculator in 2003. I have never produced less content on that website than I did this past season. And that's on me, and I'm changing that. I made it a point to say I dial back my one-on-one advice. I don't offer it. I don't have a phone line text advice. I don't have email advice. I dial back everything so that I can focus and produce quality and home runs in everything I do. The one thing I don't compromise is the YouTube channel. You know that I'm here at 8 p.m. every single Monday through Friday. I miss maybe one show a year for an emergency like the dog situation. Like I never let anything affect the Fantasy Football Show YouTube channel, ever. The things that get affected are like the website got affected because I had to put everything in and I only have so much left. Everything has to go into the YouTube channel without fail. And so I had to get rid of everything like the phone line, the text device, so that I could have 100% capacity to manage this like I always have for 23 years. And that's why I've redesigned it, and that's why it's got Dynasty and Redraft separated. This is going to be the best content year, and I'm getting back to producing more content than you can handle on this website. The other thing that I have the YouTube channels, the Dynasty channel, and the main channel. I have the Patreon and the fantasyfootballshow.com. And that's it. I've gotten rid of everything else. I deleted my Discord. I'm focusing on the Patreon, which is $10 a month, cancel anytime. Patreon.com/The Fantasy Football Show. Link is in the live chat pinned. $10 a month, cancel anytime. I'm focusing on this and only this, and then my 2 YouTube channels. That's it. My YouTube channels, whether I have the vlog channel as well, but that's it. I'm focusing and I'm bringing the thunder this year. So you're going to have so much more to come on the website, which is why I went on that tangent. Thank you, Abanto to the moon. Trump Force, I'm up 25 points. Have Aubrey. He has Bucky. I think you probably win this, but it could be close. It depends on Bucky. But to have Aubrey with the lead is better, I'm up by 20. I've got Bucky and Green Bay left. He's got Lamb and Jacobs and Kraft, his kicker. Am I cooked? Not necessarily, but, I'm sure it's projecting him to win. But, dude, we've seen crazier things happen than that. That's nothing. Just enjoy it. This is why you play. Enjoy this moment right now. Don't fret it. Don't dread it. Don't wish you had a 100-point lead. Enjoy the fact that you've got an adrenaline rush right now. How is your pup doing? Pup's doing good. He made it through. He had a spider bite. He went into an anaphylactic shock and almost passed, but we got him there in time. His heart rate was like almost nothing. His blood pressure was like literally like I want to say the number was 30. I don't remember what it was, but it was bad. I'm up 52.9. Still have McMillan and still have Baker, Lamb, Kraft, and Tampa kicker. Is this a dub for me? I'm up 59. Still, I have McMillan. He still has Baker, Lamb, Kraft, Tampa Bay. Again, I this one's tough for me. I think he's got a lot. Like Baker and Lamb and Kraft and Tampa Bay. I think I already answered this one, but that's close. Anything can happen. Just enjoy the game, bro. Enjoy the game. Going to be a close call. Just depends, Had Hurts go out, still up 35, but he has Evans and Jacobs. Pray for me, says Jesse. Jesse, anything can happen, bro. Keep the faith. Enjoy yourself. Don't get all worked up in a negative way. Understand that this is why you decided to play fantasy football. This is why you decided to play fantasy football. For this moment right now, this adrenaline rush. Dial in to the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Game's about to start. Appreciate every single one of you. Clutch, you say you're down 24. I've got Bucky and Rico left. I think you could win that. Absolutely. Enjoy the game. That's a really good thing for you. You're in a good spot. Me having H.M. Barkley and Gibbs watching from the sidelines. I'm sorry. God, that sucks amazing when you have such a good week and you have it a week late. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's part of fantasy, man. Josh Allen sold so hard. Ben, he brought you here. You had to have your other boys step up. You can't blame it on Josh Allen. You can't blame it on anybody. You got to have enough firepower to weather through. Every team has one bad playing player every single week. Josh Allen happens to be the guy that plays bad for you this week. You got to have everybody step up. But we'll help you, bro. Get there next year. Don't worry. Colby, you're live, bro.
Yo, Smitty.
What's up?
Hey, I made it to the finals, man.
Congrats, bro.
Back-to-back years. My question was yesterday about Jennings and Dotto, but it doesn't matter because I'm winning by like 30, 40. I still got Lambs and Dotto. So I'm good.
Nice job.
Thank you for the whole year. I was following you, and it doesn't matter if I win or I get second. I'm going to give like 10 or 20 gifted subs to the channel.
Attaboy, bro. Appreciate you very much.
Yes, sir. Smitty.
Well,
Smitty to the moon.
Congrats, my boy.
Thank you, bro.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye.
We're going to go over to the 920 caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Matt from Wisconsin.
What's up, Matt from Wisconsin? What can I do for you?
I got some numbers for you. You ready?
Okay.
51.6, 120.9. Penix's quarterback rating, Malik Willis's quarterback rating against the Titans. You're sleeping on my boy.
What are you trying to say? Just say
You're
it.
counting Malik Willis out, man.
I'm counting Malik
you
Willis
talk about
out.
Ward, Shador,
Counting Malik
Fields.
Willis out. What are you talking
Where's
about?
Malik Willis going next year?
I like Malik Willis. What are you talking about? I like Malik Willis. I don't know that he's getting a
You
starting
never
job.
talk about him.
Yeah, I do all the time. I talk about him all the time. I always talk about in Superflex, keep an eye on him in case, Jordan Love was banged up at times. Absolutely. You clearly don't watch the show a lot. You're making the scene here and you're stepping on your own argument. Number one. And number two, I don't think Malik Willis is as good as Penix Jr., but it doesn't mean I don't like Malik Willis. That's just a false statement. But absolutely, look, you're trying to judge Penix Jr. as if you didn't watch the game. That's a box score Bobby take, bro, to come in here and start rattling off, percentages of this and that when you didn't watch the game, or Kyle Pitts literally volleyballed the ball up in the air so it could be picked off. Drake London drops the touchdown. He had the offense humming. They scored 30-plus points. Absolutely, the announcers are drooling all over him. Just because he didn't produce, he absolutely had the offense humming. I appreciate.
He looked good. He looked good out there.
Okay.
Kyle Pitts did throw that one in the air for him.
But I do like Malik Willis. All right, got to go, bro. Appreciate you. Charles, you're live.
How are you doing?
What can I do for you, bro?
Hey, what was your opinion on Ford in the last couple of days? You think he's a must start?
Yeah, I mean he was I think he was on the Moon Man list, and so he was a guy that we really, really liked walking into the season. I didn't expect anything from Chubb. To be honest with you, Chubb did better than I even anticipated, but Chubb still was not the same player. Like, he'd fall into the end zone. That was it. Thank you, John. I'm glad you found the show too, pal. He literally fell into the end zone, didn't have explosive runs. He'll never be the same player. Nick Chubb is never going to be the same player ever again. He's 29 years old, I believe, this year coming up. 29 or 30. I think he's 28 this year. Yeah, he's 28 this year, coming in with the second worst knee injury I've ever seen or heard of. You know who had the first worst knee injury we've ever heard of or seen? Nick Chubb. So he had both of them. The single worst knee injuries that a human being could ever endure, where their knee that bends like this snapped and did a complete L the other way to the side in the pros, and when he was in college, it snapped and did a complete L in college. And he'll never be the same. So Ford was a really exciting play. I admit I didn't see him vanishing like he did in the middle part of the year, but now he's back. He's back. He looks phenomenal. He's fresh in a way. And if you got him in a flex spot, that's great, bro.
Well, I left him on my bench, but I started Walker, but I still
you can't.
I'm up by
Good
30 with 2 people left. So.
Good, and you can't kick yourself for that. Like, if you would have asked me that, and you may have, I would have probably said, God, Ford's safer, but Walker's higher risk, higher reward. That was kind of unfortunately a heavy theme this week because it's a pressure week. I want to make sure people aren't losing their entire championship on me, just like forcing an answer. So there is sometimes more. Double talk answers that you give during this final semifinals week and finals week, but you have to make sure people are aware. Every Penix Jr. question I got was, he is extremely high risk, high reward. He could get you literally 2 to 5 to 8 points, or he could get you 30. I made that abundantly clear, and nor should anybody have been even toying with the idea that didn't have a dilemma. If you had JD5, you had even Hurts. Hurts was a must start. You cannot look back on that. You had no control over that. Walker, you didn't know Walker was going to get injured. So, it is what it is. But at least you got Ford ready to go, bro.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks for all your help.
All right, man. Later. Charles, you're live. Charles left. He just left. Travis, you're live. This game's kicked off, by the way.
Mac Jones had a QB rating of 90.4. I think you're sleeping on him. He had a better QB rating than Josh Allen today. So.
So did my mom. My mom had a better QB rating. Maybe my mom might need to stop making meatloaf and start throwing footballs for the New York Giants. Yeah, people are funny. I know he was trying to be funny. In a sense, sure.
And I'm just joking. I'm just joking too, because there's something
no, I know
to say
you
about what
I know
Malik
you
Willis has done. But
yeah,
mentioned that all year too. So
yeah, and I've said that too. Like, I like Malik Willis, but I don't know what he'll do. But I like him a lot. And that guy that said that I didn't like Malik Willis. If you really go back and look, I said Malik Willis when he was going to get his start in Tennessee was going to be a top 10 to 12 quarterback, and he wasn't. And he completely flopped out of Tennessee. And like that's the perfect example of like even looking at like Trey Lance's situation. It's very easy to come in here as a box score Bobby and a Monday morning quarterback and a couch potato, analyst. Come in here and say, oh, Trey Lance was never good. You were completely wrong on Trey Lance. But situation is crazy. Situation's nearly 60-70% of the entire equation, if not more, because without the situation, Tom Brady would have never played in the NFL if he had not gotten drafted. I mean, he never started in the NFL, not started one single game in the NFL if he didn't go exactly where he went and it unfolded the exact same way. Kurt Warner wasn't even, Kurt Warner made a team, then got cut, and then went back to play in the Arena League and got Vermeil to give him one more shot in the NFL. And his own offensive coordinator didn't want anything to do with them. And Vermeil said, we're not trading for a quarterback. Trent Green went down in the preseason, and they said, we're going to roll with Kurt Warner. And his own offensive coordinator was at odds with it. He's like, I want nothing to do with Kurt Warner. We would have never seen Kurt Warner, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, if he wasn't standing in the exact right scenario. So we talk about Trey Lance. We talk about Malik Willis. I was wrong on Malik Willis in Tennessee, but was I really wrong? I was wrong on the outcome. I didn't see it all unfolding the way it unfolded. And now he goes to Green Bay, and he looks really, really good. So situation does matter a ton. And for those that are continuing to rip on, hold on one second. For those that are continuing to rip on Penix Jr., if you didn't watch the game, you're saying really negative things about Penix Jr. If you watched the game, you know that he played very well. The announcers were drooling all over the place, and he had the offense absolutely humming. And he threw some magnificent bullet passes, amazing gun of an arm he has, and he was a victim of a weird game script where the defense, there was 34 points on the board, and you looked at the box score. If you're a box score Bobby, you would see 2 rushing touchdowns, and where are all the other scores from? You start looking around. The defense was scoring like crazy. That doesn't even give Penix Jr. an opportunity to get the short field and throw a screen pass or even allow the team to run the football. And they were taken off the field before they got on in a lot of scenarios. So people can make fun of Penix Jr. all they want. They can make fun of Penix Jr. all they want, but he's got the team humming. And if you don't know that, you don't watch. You're a box scorer.
All right, prepare for take 1. All right, action.
He's a box score Bobby. He's a little sloppy. Box score Bobby. He's a box score Bobby.
All right, go ahead, Travis. What can I do for you?
Well, and just like we were talking about today and yesterday, we said if they run the ball 35 or 40 times, it's going to limit his ceiling. They ran the ball 38 times.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and that was part of the concern. And some people, shout out to those that said, hey, look, it's a risky play. No one in here was saying bench JD5, bench Jalen Hurts again. And I say Jalen Hurts on purpose so that people that had him today don't blame themselves. Like, Travis, I know you had him in the league. You couldn't see it coming.
Yep.
You can't sit there and go, I should have benched him for Baker. I have Baker sitting there. Stop playing the reverse game on yourself. You can't look in the rearview mirror. You would not have made that move, and it would have been a dumb move to make at the time. But
that's what I was calling in for too. Was like the league I had Hurts in. I cruised the whole year. I had a bye, and then during my bye week, I lost Monty. Garendo got hurt, a couple injuries, and then Hurts gets injured today. It's like, when you have something like that happen, you just got to kind of throw the cards out. You can't even be that mad. If you make the right moves beforehand, that's all you can do,
Yeah.
It's frustrating, but what can you do?
Appreciate you, amazing Alec. Not gonna lie, I wish I stumbled upon this show sooner. Probably would have saved my early part of my season, bro. Glad you're here. We don't always get everything right. I want to make that abundantly clear. I think I made that evident by making sure I highlighted some of the misses I have on an actual entire corner of my screen. So I don't hit everything. I don't claim to hit everything. But we had a really good day. We had such a good day. I'm starting to feel bad for my opponent. I won before this game started. That's awesome, JJ. I'm glad to hear. But I mean, this is like, these are our running backs. The only running back missing here is Breece Hall. But it's like supernova. The 4 supernovas are on the screen right here out of the 6 of them, or 8. We have 7 of them. 7. Oh no, I'm sorry, JD5. I apologize. I forgot JD5. We have 5 supernovas out of the 7 are on the screen right here. Or maybe it's 8 supernovas. 8 supernovas. 5 out of the 8 are on the screen. The other 3 are Coleman, Mahomes, and Breece Hall. You're not going to hit them all. Those are bold predictions. It is what it is. But I mean, what a year we have had, and we still have another week to go and a couple games. Baker Mayfield is under center with 8:23 left in the first quarter. It is 3-0 Dallas. Baker fakes the handoff to Rachaad White. He scrambles to the left. He runs for a first down and gets out of bounds before being leveled. Good call there, Dallas D. Not trying to level Baker, yardage maker. But there's a flag on the field. Laundry on the field. Go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry.
Baker's another one. Talk about situation. What happens in Cleveland happens, and then
Darnold,
the Rams, goes to Carolina, doesn't do much. The Rams pull him off the scrap heap for that one game, and it kind of showcases he's got something left. And look at him now.
Darnold,
the right situation.
Darnold wouldn't have done anything. He wouldn't have done anything in San Francisco, I truly believe. So, it's not like they had like some hidden gem there for that team in that situation.
Smitty.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, okay. So given how Darnold's playing this season and probably next season, where would you put JJ for ranking wise? Because obviously he's still a rookie, and we haven't seen him play, but what's his ceiling? What's his outcome?
Well, here's what I would say. I would say as of this moment, there's not a shot in hell that JJ McCarthy's starting next year in Minnesota. I shouldn't say it like that. Of course, it comes down to the contract. Like, if Darnold says, hey, I want more money, I'm willing to go get more money because I'm a little bit afraid of my own shadow coming back and taking everything away from me. This is maybe a good dream and I'm going to wake up. He might. There's a chance, but this team is moving on with Sam Darnold if they can. They're going to offer him a contract. And again, if you get in the mind of Sam Darnold, you say to yourself, where have I been given a shot again? This team. I have some loyalty to that. What offense is built perfectly for me, and I know it, and it's easy? This offense. What team has better wide receivers for me? Nobody. Better tight end, 2 wide receiver option. No, I mean, literally could be considered the best duo in the league by far. You could throw a couple other. So you tell me, are you willing, if you're going to get a big contract that's around $50 to $55 million a year, and get over 100 and probably 120 million guaranteed, is that enough for you to say, I want to succeed, I feel very good here, I think they'll set me up for success? Or would you take another, I don't know, maybe 20 to 40 million guaranteed and maybe have a horrible ending to your career and your legacy's tarnished? I think Sam Darnold's smart enough to know he's bounced around enough, he found his home. And the Vikings are absolutely crushing it right now. There's no way they look at JJ. They don't care about JJ McCarthy and the draft pick they used. Look at the Niners. They moved on to Brock Purdy like that when they figured out it doesn't matter. Once you know what you got and it's better than what you drafted, whatever, you can't start thinking like that. You could trade JJ McCarthy if you can. You could just hold him and have one of the cheapest, coolest, kind of crafty little backups in the league and say Darnold's our boy. Now, might they do something similar to what the Falcons are unfolding right now, where Penix Jr. comes in and they sign Darnold, and Darnold turns into a pumpkin later, and then they're like, oh, you signed Darnold to a $120 million deal, and then you're putting in J.J. McCarthy, maybe. But I think Darnold's proven long enough that if he stayed healthy, this is the offense for him. There's not a chance in hell that this team is not 80% at least on board with Darnold coming back.
And I think they'll probably formulate a contract where they give him some incentive or something, but they in return get some type of out after 2 years, something like that as well. So it won't be quite as bad as the Cousins
Darnold's still
situation.
young. He's like 27. And then that's the problem. It's like JJ's, he's still a rookie. He's like, what is he, like 22 or 21?
Yeah, but
Sam Darnold, he's only 27.
Okay,
that's like really young.
But
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think they'll build one into the contract. Is all I'm saying.
They could, but at the same time, and like this is semantics at this point. This is like splitting hairs over what direction the contract's going to go. The bottom line is this: the Vikings are playing absolutely out of their minds, amazing football from top to mother freaking bottom. This is probably one of the. I did a best ball NFL playoff draft on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Link is in the description of the video. Make sure you smash that link and play. They're called mittens, and I did a mitten draft where I drafted all Vikings pretty much for the playoffs. And my first reaction was, oh, this is going to be like, it's not my favorite team or whatever. But as I'm looking more and more at this team, I love the fact that this could be that team. Maybe they don't win it, but they surprise everybody in somehow, some way. They're not my pick, but somehow, some way, there's a chance this team could sneak into at least the Final Four. There's absolutely that chance. This team is playing amazing football. And I was one that doubted Sam Darnold hardcore. You want another miss and some accountability? I had zero faith that Sam Darnold would be doing what he's doing. Sam Darnold has this team. What's their record now is what, 13-2. They're tied with the Lions. They're 13-2.
12-2.
No, 13-2.
Yeah.
They're 13-2.
13, yeah, you're right.
Bro, they're 13-2. Do you think it is smart management to not sign Sam Darnold again when you're 13-2? You'll never be better than your team is in the next 5 to 10 years. You'll never be better than this team right here, right now.
That's crazy because they the odds had them at like 5 or 6 wins or something crazy, which that even seemed a little bit low, but still, how well they're playing, like you said, top to bottom, all sides of the ball, they're doing well. It's just a complete team.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wouldn't pick them to win it all. I think they're lacking a little bit in areas, but
they could easily be the top 4 team.
You don't get better.
Easily be a top 4 team. Yeah, but that won't be my Super Bowl pick. Yep. And I'm not drafting a ton of that type of team. Like I said, I'm not drafting all Vikings, but I'm just saying I drafted that, and I'm like, I'm glad I have that Viking team in case they do just shock the world and they go to the Super Bowl and they lose, but that team will win the big money in the Underdog contest that I'm talking about, the mitten, if they end up going there. So it's an amazing one team to have.
And all it takes is a couple breaks, God forbid Hurts missed a couple games with a concussion or something and can't play in the playoff game. I don't think that's going to happen, but all it does is it takes a roll of the ball here or a break there with an injury, and
all right, Paul.
They walk into the second round.
Paul, I gotta go. Paul, appreciate you, bro. Later.
Yeah.
240 caller. What's your name and where are you calling from? 240.
Yo, what's up, Smitty? This is Cajun. I'm calling from Maryland.
Kate, what's your name?
Cajun. I spell it Kajin.
From Maryland.
Cajun,
okay. What's up, man?
Hey, look, bro. I just gotta give it to you, man. When it comes to what analyzers and what analysts that we're going to next season, you've become the number 1 draft pick.
Thanks, pal.
I discovered you this year. I'm a prodigy already, but I've been struggling lately. You know what you helped me correct, Smitty?
What?
My trading skills.
Attaboy.
You took my trading to another level. I'm up about 30 plus. I got Green Bay's defense. A couple players left tomorrow. Looks like I'm headed to the championship.
Attaboy.
Because of you, I went on my way and I got Achan, I got Nico Collins. I got a couple pieces. I got Brock Bowers. I got a squad, bro. I just really wanted to give it up to you.
Hey, appreciate that, man. And you know what? We're going to have more trading videos and psychology and fantasy football. Your boy brings psychology to fantasy football like no other. Your boy has a psych degree, so I like to try and I really love dabbling in psychology anyway, but the psychology of trading and probably the best advice I could give anybody in trading, trade negotiation tactics is the strategy and the approach is something that's great too, but just offering in masses, offering in waves, and then just making sure every trade offer you send out is in your advantage and understanding that you're going to get maybe a 5 to 10% return at best. So if you're making trades that benefit you and you send 4 of them out, you're going to get 4 rejections. If you make trades that are benefiting you and you send 8 of them out, you're going to get 8 rejections. You're only going to get at best 1 out of 10, sometimes 1 out of 20 if you're making the right offers. Now, if you're getting ripped off, I can tell you how to do that one time. One offer gets accepted, boom, you're done. But if you're making good, that's the one rule of thumb. If I could teach anybody that, is to ask for the world, expect a no, and look for the one moment in time where that guy's getting on the elevator. He's got a stack of TPS reports. His girlfriend's breaking up with him, and he spilled coffee all over his shirt and his tie. And he opens up his phone. He's pissed off at Achan not having a good day. He thinks the Dolphins suck. Yep. And you're giving him an offer where you're giving him 2 players. One's doing well and you don't believe in him. And he hits the button and he instantly regrets it. Everybody has made a trade in their fantasy football career that they've regretted the moment they've pressed the button, right? Is that right? Travis and Cajun, have you not made a trade that you haven't regretted right away? I think we all have.
Look,
okay,
I traded for Pollard this season. I traded for Pollard this season, and I traded him right back away.
I traded Puka for MHJ when Puka was still hurt.
So the point is,
I screwed up.
The point is, you're trying to target that, and you don't know who it is and when, but you're trying to get somebody to make a trade that they regret the moment they press the button. That is trading 101 in a nutshell. Now the tactics, the order of questioning, that's all part of it. We're gonna have so many videos, trade negotiation videos and psychology stuff on the channel. Hey, I gotta go, Cajun. Anything else real quick?
I just want to say that's the main difference between you and others is you'll jump out on a ledge with the psychology of the game and depending on the the game script and the scenario and what the season looks like, and you'll call an injury before it's reported. And that's really what separates you from some of the podcasters that's maybe a little afraid to take the L, So keep doing what you're doing, bro.
All right, man.
I'm going to be around next season.
All right. Appreciate you, bro. Okay. Sick Nasty, I got to give our mod Sick Nasty some airtime here. He said Smitty has been spitting this whole season except J.J. McCarthy is going to be a beast when he steps onto the field. Now, I know you're a big J.J. McCarthy fan, and I know we kind of disagreed on his valuation, but I will say that even you've got to think that the team wants to sign Darnold. Sick Nasty, how could they not? So I'm not in a disagreement with you that he could go somewhere else and thrive. But if he's going to be in Minnesota, he's going to need an injury because I think there's an 80% chance they re-sign Darnold, if not higher. So maybe he goes somewhere else. There's plenty of teams that need a quarterback. Let me see if I can. Oh, whoops, wrong button here.
Do you think they'll keep him though? I mean, it almost is a perfect situation for the Vikings,
yeah.
As long as he's not,
of course,
upset.
Of course, and he's the difference between keeping Fields and then drafting Caleb, which is still a dumb move. I'm the kind of person that I would say to Caleb, if I'd sit Caleb down and go, if you're scared of Fields, I don't want to draft you. Or in the case of let's say the Falcons were trading away Kirk Cousins. First of all, Kirk Cousins is due $10 million in March, on March 17. So they're going to cut him March 16 or before that. And when they cut him, it's because of monetary reasons, not just because of fear that there's going to be, we want to make sure the pecking order doesn't look weird or there's pressure on Penix or anything like that. Pause. But if it's not up to money, I'm somebody that's going to say to Penix Jr., if Kirk Cousins scares you and doesn't motivate you, then you're not the guy I thought you were. And that's the way I look at things. So I personally would keep JJM unless I got something that could help my team now, because I do have faith in Darnold. And I don't necessarily, it's nice to have a good backup, but JJ McCarthy isn't guaranteed to give you what you think he may or may not get you. So why not trade him now for something that helps the team win? Now, knowing I have a Fields behind Caleb, I wouldn't have traded Fields. I wouldn't have traded Fields for a 3rd round pick. I'd have had to have gotten a 1st rounder or a 2nd rounder. I wouldn't have got a 1st rounder. I know that. I'm not an idiot, but I would have traded him only for a 2nd round pick. They traded him for a conditional 4th rounder that is a 6th rounder, I believe was what it was. And that's stupidity, because Brian Poles is one of the worst GMs in the league. He's not the worst. You've got Shinebox Joe Shine over in New York. You've got Jerry Jones in Dallas. You've got a bunch of bad GMs, but Brian Poles is one of the dumbest GMs in the league, because he's the one that set up the entire failure you're seeing unfold right in front of your face. He is a horrible GM. And when you look at that video clip of him calling up Caleb, and Caleb answers, he goes, "Hello." And Ryan Poles goes, "Hey," and he goes, "Who's this?" And Poles goes, "Ha, eh." And you can see on his face, I don't know if I'm making the right decision. And the fact that Ryan Poles has no spine and says, I got to get rid of Fields for a 6th rounder because I'm afraid of what he might do to my precious Caleb, that is horrible. So again, circling back, if I'm the Vikings, I'm not getting rid of JJ McCarthy unless I'm getting something that helps me. But the difference between McCarthy and Fields is that you don't know what McCarthy even is. So if you get rid of him, a great backup, maybe not. Maybe he's not a great backup. Maybe he is. And I know Sick Nasty loves him, but I would trade him. Like, go get me a pick that can land me the 2nd or 3rd rookie running back in this draft class. You know, like move a 5th rounder up to the 2nd or 3rd round or whatever. If you could, like you could probably get a lot more than that. I'm just saying, like, figure out that, like, if I could turn my 2nd rounder and JJ McCarthy into Ashton Genty, like I'm doing that, that's how my mind thinks. And JJ McCarthy still has a little bit of a lure that he might be able to get you something like that. I don't know that he get you a 1st rounder. He might get you a 1st round, a bump, like you're going from round 2 to round 1. I don't know. Maybe he'd get you a 1st rounder. It's hard to really know what teams value, how they value him. But that's what I would do. That's how I would navigate that situation. Plus, it gives JJ McCarthy a chance to go start somewhere. He was under the impression he'd be the starter. Now he's not going to be, probably. And so I'm okay with not knowing how good he'd be, to send him on his way and get something amazing. All right, Travis, anything else?
Yeah, just real quick. Hollywood Brown, do you move him ahead of Hopkins for now? Or are they just kind of sitting there the same? I mean,
probably close.
He got 7 targets, I think it was, right away, and
probably close.
Like they want to use him. Whereas,
probably close to the same. But I'd lean Hollywood. But I think Worthy's the one. You know, Worthy's the one there.
Yeah, he's getting the most targets now.
Good for him. All these haters, all these Worthy haters. Granted, he didn't deliver as quickly as I wanted, but I mean, he looks really, really good.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you all, guys. Travis, I'll see you later, bro. I'll be live. I'll be live tonight. I don't know if you want to help with the waiver wire stuff, but maybe Travis, you can call in during the waiver wire show. Let's see here. We got a super chat here, Ray G, with the final super chat of this show, and then we'll be back at the end of the game. So make sure you're here at the end of the Sunday night game. 10-0 Dallas Cowboys. Minute and 12 left in the first quarter. Make sure you come back. Okay, we'll be live as soon as the game ends. Probably about a minute or two before it ends, we'll already be live. And we're doing the waiver wire show. And we're going to celebrate. Josh Allen is now listed as questionable with a hand injury. He'll probably be okay, but we'll monitor it throughout the week. We'll definitely know. I'm sure he's fine. He's a monster. He's a refrigerator. Let's see. What else did I have? Sick Nasty, appreciate you dropping that super chat. I think I didn't have anything lingering on this screen. And let me see if I have any celebratory messages from all you fine YouTube exclusive members. I do not. Did I get any gifted memberships on this show? We did not, but we attack a lot of that in the... Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I do have a celebratory. I do. Andre says, team went off 1 week too late. I'm sorry, Andre. That always sucks, bro. But we'll get you going for 2025, bro. It all starts right now. You guys are going to be shocked with my rookie stuff, too. You're going to be absolutely blown away, I think, by one or two of these calls early on. I'll see you all later. Don't forget, guess who is a Jupiter man?
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
Gibbs is the first Jupiter man. Jupiter is the biggest board we have. I think it's probably going to be 4 spots. I kind of want to make it unique, but I have a feeling I'm going to move it to 5. But we will not maximize the Jupiter man past 5. We will
the Saturn
not
man.
maximize.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Let's see.
Spaceman.
Let's put, we're going to put 5 seats only. 5 seats only. Make that red. And we'll put this on here so that everybody knows that all these boards have a limitation. I don't want them to get to the point where everybody's feeling like, oh, there's too many names on here. Because we're adding more planets. It's not going to get that way. We're going to limit it. We're going to have less than last year sum total on all of the boards. So we'll put this on the board here. 5 seats is going to be the most we have from this one. And then on the Mars men.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
5 seats only.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
And then on the Moon men.
The Moon men. Dropping loads in outer space.
5 seats only.
Space Monsters.
And let's
He's
put
on a shuttle to Mars.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man.
The Moon men. Dropping loads in outer space.
There we go.
Space Monsters.
Now we're good to go on all the lists and get ready. I'm very tempted to drop, like, I have a feeling we're going to fill up the Jupiter board, like, by the end of the week. I got to pace myself. All right. Thank you all for dropping super chats. Appreciate you. Thank you all for being here. I'll be back like an hour and a half from now, maybe roughly, about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from now, based on the flow of this game, to do the waiver wire show. But thank you. Congrats to all of you that advanced. Let's rock and roll through week 17 next.
He's Kyren. He's 7 feet tall.
Hey, Chan.
Bring it in. Set her down, boys.
Hey, Chan. Hi. My name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
There are handfuls of certain There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8 supernovas. They are the 8 supernovas. The hateful 8 supernovas. I'm looking at the 8 supernovas. The magnificent 8.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery.